It was a chess match at the Longview City Council meeting as council members discussed how and what to do with future projects and also managing a tight budget.
Yeah, it's known as the Reserve Fund, and KLTV's Alex Weiser has more on what council discussed and where this money may be going in the future.
Longview City Council gathered to discuss the current state of the Reserve Fund and their visions as to how it can be used. The money has been brought up multiple times recently. One of the main points from the meeting brought up the potential to increase the percentage of reserves taken from the budget.
You guys have the ability to make an impact for the financial stability of the city long term by going up to the 15% and making it harder or more difficult for the future councils to undermine the financial stability of your community.
This increase was one of the main priorities for Mayor Ishihara to put up for further discussion this year.
Fire department vehicle replacement, I think we need to discuss and then potentially vote on, and the required 10% reserves changing to 15%. I think those both warrant city council discussion.
The fire department vehicle replacement plan laying out the roadmap for a sustainable flow of trucks for the department.
We could get our fleet back on track for replacement and have a good fleet, and I think be on a sustainable path for future apparatus purchases. But it would require a seed money of $30 million.
Employee pay has been a point of contention for some council members, with Councilman Steve Pirtle advocating for it at the meeting, but taking it from reserves wasn't viable, according to McPhee.
If you don't have the revenues to cover it the next year, we're back at the conversation, what do you want to cut?
Alex Weister, KLTV 7 News.
Nothing was voted on today. One of the items discussed, the expansion of Heritage Plaza. It's up for a vote at Thursday's council meeting.